when I'm when I'm sharing screen, I only see 3-4 people's faces.
Yes.
I see.
So I don't know what is happening with the others. So sometimes
all right.
I tend to scroll down just to see if I can figure out, where if the message is going across or whatever. So please feel free. Thank you, Lolita, but feel free to stop me anytime.
Thank you.
This is for everybody.
Yeah.
So I
So it reminded me of my history classes. I used to love history so much, and I used to talk and talk, and I used to feel as if I was involved in all those battles and all, and I used to forget that I'm talking to students. So I had to tell them, please help me to apply brakes because I forget myself.
how true.
By,
True.
by the way, we discovered much later over our interactions, especially for the, talent show, that Lolita was actually, she taught my brother in school.
Oh,
So it's such a small world, and so
I
many of
know.
my friends and all of them are like Lolita ma'am. And I hope none of you mind. I call you all by first name. It's very hard. If I was meeting you all outside, I would be calling you all auntie and stuff. But I want you all to all feel young, and I don't want age to ever be a barrier here. So I just call you all by name. So so it's never about
Very
age.
true. Very true. Thank you.
which school was
Thank
it,
you.
Lolita? Which school?
I was at Loyola's, doctor.
Okay, so maybe you taught
I
some cousins of mine as well.
I see.
The Figueredos lived in Margao, no? So,
Okay.
Freddie, Patrick.
Yes. Of course, I know them very well. I compared one of their weddings also. I think Kimberly.
Okay,
Ki
Kim and Freddie.
Kimberly.
Okay.
Yes.
Even when we met up for lunch in April, just the two of us, sitting at the side, kind of chatted up a little more, and we found a lot in common. And then I get this photograph from one of my school friends in New Zealand. And I said, how did you get it? She's saying, you forget you put me onto Circle of Grey just because of the timings that I can't always be there. But do you know who that is? So I said, no. She's saying, that is Donald, my younger brother. I said, goodness me, I didn't realize. And then we started chatting with Donald and the wife. And like I'm saying,
Donald, the one who has Street Providence.
yes,
Oh,
from Horbury, yeah.
wow, my goodness, he's doing such amazing work.
The three boys
Really,
the
absolutely.
boys are in Finland, no? Where are they? Norway. Oh, my bosses come. I better comb my hair and come back.
Hello, Francis.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Oh my, check him out. You're looking very
Hi,
Canadian,
Francis.
Francis.
Hi, Francis.
Hello, how are things?
Tell us, did you wake up 1 minute ago? How many minutes ago did you wake up? How nice of you to join despite the time difference.
Yeah,
Sorry?
no, it's fine. We get up early normally.
Oh, today we forced you to really wake up early. We have Jennifer and Carl as well. Warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, Jennifer.
Thank you. I didn't forget.
Yes, you didn't forget. Excellent.
That's good.
Maria made sure of that.
Yeah, with the umpteen reminders, most of which I need for myself.
Yeah, me too. It's terrible.
Carl, are you there, Carl? Oh, I think he just jumped out. I was just going to ask him to put his video on. I think many people seem to have forgotten. Oh, we are early. That's why they
Yeah, we
haven't
are
yet
early.
signed in. They're early birds. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what I'd ask you to do is maybe grab, Lolita brought up a really interesting point earlier about, noting down important things. So if you want to grab a pen and a book just to kind of jot down things. So of course, this is a memory session and we are hoping we'll remember everything, but just in case we need help, everything's there.
They all need paper and pencil or pen or whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Regina, who's also
Lucky
signed
you're
in. Hi,
attending that
Regina.
memory session.
Sorry.
Okay. Log in that.
Oh, you're talking to someone else. Hi,
No,
Regina.
I was reminding someone to log in.
Oh,
that's
okay,
nice.
okay. Nice.
Maria, maybe we can properly stop sharing right now so that, you know,
Sure.
let them all get all their faces in chat.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. And I have sent you a backup, by the way. I just emailed it to you in case I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me just get to that then right away.
Where is he? Which part of the world? Francis, where are you?
He's in Canada. Is he there
Oh,
right
right.
now?
I mean, I can see Manuel. Hi.
Hello.
So it will be early morning there. Yeah.
It's so nice to see everyone after a long time. It's been a while. Oh, we have Fatima, we have Rosa, we have Regina, we have Manuela, who have just joined us.
Yeah. Good evening to others in India.
Hi,
Oh,
good
yes.
evening, Manuela.
Oh, such lovely, bright, happy faces. First of all, congratulations. All of you remembered to come in
Yes.
today.
Memory, right? Very
Yeah,
much
that's a great first step.
Yeah.
I don't know who's this. Hello, yeah.
We have Lavita and Jen.
That's my
As
sister.
well,
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's your sister,
Lavita is my
Lolita.
sister.
Oh, Lolita
Yes,
and
yes.
Lavita. How nice. That's really cute. We have a lot of brothers, sisters, siblings on the group. It's really nice. Francis and Merle, Ida and Lena, of course, husband and wife as well, Manuela and Francis.
No, don't worry.
Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Hello,
Maria.
hi, Rosa. Hi, Ida.
Hi.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Maria.
Very warm welcome to all of you.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you. I'm going to lie down and I'm going to listen to you all.
Yes, sure, sure. And for those who've just come in, like I told everyone a moment earlier, please grab a notepad and a pen so that it's handy.
Ready.
Ready?
Ready?
Okay. And we're gonna kick off with the game. And at that time, I want you to actually forget that you have a pen and paper.
Okay.
Okay? Because no cheating allowed. That.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, that's the only moment in this whole session that you're allowed to forget.
Forget.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's wonderful. We have so many lovely faces. Barbara's come in.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
Lovely
Hi,
to have you
Barbara.
in. Oh, Merle
Hi.
has woken up. I think Francis left to wake her up. So
Manuela.
No, Mall is up, but they are
Where's
exercising, so
Manuela?
she might come back. She might join in later,
she's
I think.
joining. She's joining.
Oh, she's joined, yeah.
Joined us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Carolina
Yes.
has joined in.
Saying.
Oh, so many new faces as well. That's lovely. That's great. Okay, so we have Caroline, we have Merle who have just joined us. Lavita, welcome to you. I know this is your first time here, so very happy to have you. Your
Thank you.
sister is a big part of Circle of Grey, so we're happy
Yeah,
that she brought you in.
Thank you so much.
Caroline, I can't see you. If you would be comfortable to put your video on, please go ahead.
My video is off.
Yeah, it's
My
on.
audio is off.
Oh, yes, I see you now. Okay, hi, lovely to see you. I know this is your
Hi,
first
hi.
time here.
Yes.
That's really great.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Hi. Thanks. Thanks.
So, just want to say a very, very warm welcome to all of you. For those who are new here, I'm Maria, and I started the Circle of Grey in 2020, along with a group of absolutely wonderful people. One of them who's right here, you can see her smiling away, Sophia, who is in Portugal.
Hi.
And yeah,
Hello.
so we're really happy to do this with you. And Soph, I'm sure you want to say a quick hello as well.
Yes, I'm very happy to see you all and to meet you all as well. I know I haven't really been here much, but it's really nice to see all the happy faces and smiling faces here. And really looking forward to Dr. Odette's presentation today. So I'm sure we're all going to take home some good pointers and tips from the session. So yeah.
Absolutely. So, so of course, we are all, I think, very eagerly awaiting what the amazing Dr. Odette is going to tell us. It's a topic that all of us, myself included, for sure, I think I'm on top of that list. I've become so forgetful that I think we're all looking forward to knowing how we can boost our memory cells. But before we start, like I said, all those who haven't brought a pen and paper, if you can quickly bring a pen and paper so that you can take down notes and you can also play a quick game. So I'm just going to give you a moment. See, a few people have left to bring it, so I'm just going to wait for them to come. In the meantime, I'd like to introduce Dr. Odette. For all those who are regulars on Circle of Grey, she is the most familiar face around here, synonymous almost with everything that we do here. But for those who are new, Dr. Death is one of the most lovely people who has been such a big part and such an inspiration on Circle of Grey. She has done a couple of workshops with us as well. She's always giving us the most amazing tips for conversations on health and on staying happy, staying, mentally and physically agile. And we are really, really happy to have her do this workshop with us. Dr. Odette, I can't tell you enough how much it means to have you here. And amigo to amigos. So it's really special. And thanks once again for agreeing to do this.
Totally my pleasure. Totally my pleasure. Being with the amigos like this online and seeing everybody's faces also is a boost of sorts.
Yes.
Memory boost, name, face,
Yes.
as well as a boost to our immune system and the happy hormones.
True, true.
Absolutely.
And welcome
We
to
also
new ones. Lovely to see. Not the old ones, but the old ones, really. So earlier ones, earlier
Familiar
amigos
faces.
that we have met some of them. Yes.
Yes, lots of new faces. Really happy to see that. We also have Dr. Deepali, who's another co-founder of mine. She has just joined us. Thank you for coming in, Dr. Deepali. She's actually a school friend of mine. So it's hard to call her doctor. Okay. So, just wanted to start off very quickly. All of us thrive on the beautiful memories that we make and that we kind of really hold special in our hearts as we go on with life. I mean, what would we do without memories, right? They are the most important part of every aspect of life. But then, what happens when you start to forget? And I think that's what's brought us over here, how we can not just slow down that process of forgetting, but also keeping our memory cells really bright and happy. So before Dr. Odette kicks this off, we're going to, like I said, this is the only moment you're allowed to forget. So forget that I asked you to get that pen and paper. Do not write these words down. but you can kind of look at them and keep them clearly in your mind because you've got to remember them. All right. So here we go, everybody. You can all see my screen.
Yeah.
Your 3 words for the day given to us by Sophia. Okay.
Random,
Sophia, you
very
do the
random.
honors. You can read them out.
Butterscotch, mosquito, chamomile.
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 Okay.
Don't ask me what I was thinking when I got these words. It's just too many things happening at that point of time.
We know what you were thinking when you thought of mosquitoes.
Yeah, you know, being in Portugal here with the heat, there's too much of mosquitoes going around the place, and butterscotch because ice cream. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. And chamomile because, yeah, that's something that calms me down. Always
You've
drinking
given
it.
them
lovely.
a lot of hints on how to remember these.
Yes, I was thinking the same. That's lovely. Okay. So on that note, register these 3 words and we're going to move straight on to Dr. Odette and take it away.
You need to enable me to screen share.
I've just given you.
Can it be seen? Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is what Maria says, memory improvement. But I have kind of taken a little detour and will say the what, the how, and the whatever of memory. Because unless we understand a little basic of what is memory, we won't know how to improve upon. It goes for anything. If you don't know that basic foundation of any subject or anything, you don't know how to improve upon that. So, see, I will let you all have your videos on, sound muted for good resonance. But if you want to answer, you can just put your hand up, unmute and answer. If you need anything from me to stop, to go ahead, please unmute and ask, because Maria will be able to see everybody. I don't get a chance with the screen sharing to see everybody. Okay, if that is all right with you, maybe a thumbs up from all of you so we know what it is. Okay, can anybody tell us what is memory? Anybody?
You'll have to unmute and say.
Yes, unmute and speak. And if you can unable to unmute, just put your hand up and maybe Maria
I
will
can do it, yeah.
Okay, so what is memory? In your opinion, what is memory? You're very worried and you want to improve upon it, but what is it? I think
Trying to recall, trying to recall.
Trying to recall. Very good. Anybody else?
I think Fatima wanted to say something.
Oh no, I don't know the technical term, but it's something to do with your thoughts and thinking, whatever you memory. I don't have the technical term.
Yeah, Francis has raised his hand. Maybe he will about the fellow in his head. What is in that? What is that, Francis? The RAM.
Storage of your thoughts.
Yes. It's not only storage, it's also, first you take it in, you store it properly, but the more important is bringing it back, because if it's remaining inside and it doesn't come out, it's not going to help. So it is a process of taking in information, processing it in the brain, storing it, and later recalling it. So that is memory. This is our brain, which is a masterpiece. Of course, it's designed by the master designer. Our brain, it's not so colorful, but this is just for understanding purposes. We have different parts which are called lobes. And each of these lobes, there's a frontal lobe, there is a temporal lobe, you know your temples. There is the occipital and the cerebellum, it's another lobe, and the parietal. And each of these lobes have a function. So when this function, something happens, you've had a stroke, there is less blood there, you've had a tumor, That part of the brain is gone. You've had an injury, head injury. So the function of that lobe gets affected. So just to understand a bit, I am showing you the various lobes and the functions. There are a lot of connections between these. There are electrical connections. And how can those electrical connections stay alive? It's when you are thinking and when you are doing, whether it's physical or mental. Okay. Now here they have shown in this picture, there are a lot of areas or parts of the brain which tell you different functions and different types of memory. You don't really need to know that, but it's nice to know. All your creativity, information, cognition, what you were talking about is called cognition. You know, the understanding, the rationalization, your language, all that is cognition. So simply, you have these types, a sensory, going in through the senses, short-term memory, which is the one that disappears quickly, and the long-term, which goes into storage. How do they work? All of us have these 5 senses. You'll all know what they are: sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Which, how do you all understand? Can you give me an example of say, smell? A good memory of smell and a bad memory of smell. Anybody? Quickly.
A good memory of smell is getting some nice or patel flavor.
Arey wah, you just thought of, up my stream. I was thinking of Bhangra Reshad Bhangra fry. You're passing somebody's house and you smell the Reshad Bhangra and it, somebody's having a good lunch of, Bhangra fry. But if you don't like fish, you will be saying, oh God, this neighbor's frying fish again. It's the same smell, but it's how we like or don't like a memory. You know? So any other that you would like to say? Taste, of course, comes to the same as food. Sight is when you see something which is pretty. So it's all these are the various senses through which they go into your memory system, your sensory memory. Now from the sensory memory, that is how the input is. It goes into your working memory. That's how you need to, where you don't work and you forget. But the most important part of this working memory is attention. I know we have a whole lot of teachers in the group, and half the time in your class you must be saying, pay attention to what I'm saying. Why? Because if there is no attention, whatever the teacher is saying, that is hearing or writing on the board, which is sight, will not go into your working memory or fly away. So this attention is of utmost importance. When you're saying we are forgetting, half the time we are not paying attention, or we're not really listening, or maybe as we're aging, hearing goes. I will get into that. So attention is the most important. So it goes into working memory. And then just as in school, you have to study, you have to encode, you have to rehearse, just like if you're taking part in a concert, you have to rehearse your lines. Only then on the last day, on the final day, you'll be able to reproduce your dialogue. So rehearsal is another aspect of how you say, you study, repeat, practice, do everything, and then it goes into your long-term memory. If you are not paying attention, so 10 out of whatever is coming in, if you're sensory, 4 have gone out, 4 points have gone out, 5 has gone in. If you have not rehearsed, 3 has gone in, and it's gone in a haphazard manner. So at the time of your exam, 2 will come out in a haphazard manner. You will write 1 and you will say, I studied. But your method of it going in has been a little incorrect, and that is why you need to have attention and rehearsal, which is the most important for memory going stored properly. You will remember at once or patel. Why? Because you like it. You will remember certain things because you like it. If you don't like it, it goes into the back of your mind. So if you don't like a class subject, whatever, math or history, you're not going to pay attention. So you as a teacher, we need to make it interesting. for them to catch their attention for it. Okay. Have a look at this picture. Don't it's getting a little complicated, but okay, it goes in, then it has its pathway. It goes into the part where it encodes what type of memory, where is it, what sensory, it goes here, all on its own. We didn't to do nothing, and it gets stored. And in this part, we see the hippocampus and the amygdala. Amygdala is a small part of the brain which is responsible for emotional memory. So when you have somebody who has dementia, who has forgotten everything, they may have forgotten you or your name or anything, but they will never forget how you make them feel. You know, that is a very strong point, and those are the points you need to work on when you're dealing with somebody with dementia, and not on the loss. You need to learn to work on the ones that are there. So this is a nice point to keep in mind, that you know, the feelings, the emotional memory which is there. And then of course it comes to retrieval, and then it comes up. So we've done sensory and short term, but this is quite complicated. You don't need to know it in as much as all these words, but all our types, they get really branched off. You will remember events, you will remember skills. Oh, I have made bangara fry so many times, Solpatel. I don't need to look at the recipe book. You know exactly what is to be done. Walking is a skill, tying your shoelaces is a skill. Yes, they've always said once you've learned how to ride a bicycle, you'll never forget. So those are skills, and those are the skills of memory, of muscle memory, etc., which also get lost in dementia. You know, and gradually they are unable to walk, unable to talk, unable to swallow, and all that. Okay, so this will tell you what a semantic president's name, and you know, riding a bike and playing a guitar. What is the president's name, by the way? The president of India? Hello?
Dr. Murmu.
Got to sleep.
Dr. Murmu.
Murmu. You know her first name?
Draupadi.
Draupadi. Yeah, it's not something. If I ask you who's the president of US, you will say President of the United States.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
That comes out fast enough. Yeah. And prior to him, who was there?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Everybody knows those things. Okay, these are your cognitive capacities, and how quickly you can process information. Each of us is a little different, so it depends on what, and whether we can, you know, do multitasking. We have attention on two different things. There's milk boiling on the fire, and your kid is asking for something, and you're answering the phone. So I think only the women have a special connection, because they multitask way better than the guys, or so I'm told. But I've seen some guys who can multitask beautifully, you know. So multitasking is also paying attention to more than one thing at a time. So what is memory? To recall, and when you aren't able to recall, you forget. But you must look at this last line. If there is no previous experience, nothing would be learned. So if you've not learned anything, whether it's in a classroom or you've not learned how to make sorpatel, or you've not learned to whatever, ride a bike or something, you're not going to recall it because it hasn't gone into your memory in the first place. Unit test. No paper, pencil, writing down. Maria preempted me on this unit test. She gave you a trial. I'm giving you another one. Can somebody read out these three words, please?
House, grape, planter.
House, grape, planter.
Planter.
Okay, who is this?
Mary Poppins.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. Who is Julie Andrews?
Actress. American actress.
American.
My fair lady.
She's
Sound of
British
music.
actress.
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Yeah.
What is Sound of Music? Where is Sound of Music?
Mary
Austria.
Poppins is there.
Last
Right
corner.
corner.
Sound of Music is at the bottom.
Her movie. So this is Sound of Music. Yes. Anybody else knows any other?
Princess Diaries.
Very good.
Mary
Mary
Poppins.
Diaries. And Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know the song?
Mary Poppins.
No,
Mary
no, no, no.
Poppins.
The song over here.
Mary Poppins.
Anybody knows that song? No?
Which song?
Yeah.
Even though the sound of it is something
Of this picture, yes, there is supercalifragilistic, but of this picture, it has something to
music.
do with
The chimney,
The hips and the lights.
yes.
chimney.
Yes. And what
Chimney.
about this picture? This one on the left below. None of you all have find it familiar?
No.
No, it's a movie called Victoria, in which she played the part of Victor and Victoria. Okay. So why do you all remember all this? I never knew it was part of your test, but how do you all remember all this?
Because we love the movies.
You loved the movies, you're familiar with her, you kept the memory. Sound of Music is so old now, the movie. But you didn't see Victoria, so you didn't remember. But you did remember part of the other one. Princess Diaries is quite recent. It's on TV, right? It's not on the movie house. Okay, who is this?
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan.
And the others pictures. Who is Amir Khan?
Indian actor.
Indian actor.
Indian actor.
So what are all these pictures of his?
Tare Zameen Par.
All
His
all
movies.
his movies.
Yeah.
Okay, which are they? Can you name them? Like your
Tare
name?
Zameen Par.
Huh?
And
Rangila, I think.
There's no
Which
Chata.
Tare
Rangila.
Which is Tare Zameen Par?
Second one.
Gajni.
The one
the
with the
second
boy.
one.
Corner.
Second one.
The second one with the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which else? Which else can you all do?
This is
Gajni, right corner.
Okay.
Low.
Kayamat se Kayamat tak, the last one.
the
In
last
the
one.
corner.
Wow, you have a lot of Bollywood fans here.
My mom was.
Pandey. What is that?
What about this one with the long hair?
That is what Pandey was it?
I think this is the Aati Hai Khandala.
No, this is a historical film.
Not the long hair. She's talking about the first one.
The long hair, the
First
long
one.
hair.
Mangal Pandey. Mangal
Which one
Pandey.
is- Which one is this then? With the cravat.
Ah, that is the Rangila one. Is it?
Yes. Quite a few all know a lot. Some of us don't know. Why? Because we're not really interested in all of Amir Khan's movies or any Amir Khan's. But we have heard of some of them, the more popular ones, and that's why. So a lot of it is to do with your likes and dislikes. So it's not that we have forgotten Amir Khan or we don't know it. It's because we're not interested. So there is something like aging, normal aging and not normal aging, which is something that we have to remember. Yeah, you forget sometimes, but it's not a big deal. You come back to it. You lose things from time to time, but it's not like you don't find it afterwards. So what do we need to do about it? Our mind, our cognition, everything is interconnected. If you look at the picture, yourself is the mind, body, and spirit, and they're all interconnected. So you can't just look at one thing without looking at the other. So our cognition, memory is all part of ourselves. Why I wrote hearing loss? It's because, see, that is one of the senses. As we age, the hearing is less. The sight is less. So if your hearing is less and you're in a group and you don't really hear every conversation that is going on, so oftentimes you're not able to be part of that conversation because you've not heard a few things, or you're not able to recall later on because you've not heard it. So you must take care of your hearing. Otherwise, you will end up in isolation, and then late life depression will set up because nobody wants to keep repeating to you, 10 times, "Arey, what to tell you, she can't hear." Forget it, kind of stuff. So you need to do all these to keep, to help yourself cope. And who helps us do all these things? Stay connected, be active, take notice, feed your mind, which is what we have to give a round of applause to Circle of Grey for helping us do that. So these are things that you need to do: interact, learn technology, have fun, go dancing, it's the best. Music is excellent. Spend some me time, some leisure activities, and you don't have to spend it only with oldies. Please spend it with people of different ages. because you also learn what is happening. There's an interaction with the very young ones. The storytelling is so good because you can also use your creativity into making up a story, help them to tell a story, making up a story if they're not able to read. Work on your hobbies. Of course, there's always prayer, technology, learn new things, no? And it's very helpful when you're alone. You learn have all these apps, and can ask for help, or you can always attend sessions like this because you know how to log into Zoom. By the way, Sophia, everybody is here very tech savvy. You should see. They will put thumbs up
Yeah,
and hands
I've
up.
noticed that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we do, and Francis will explain how you can do this. The brain. How is it jumping and doing skipping rope? So the bottom line is be physically active every day because it increases your blood circulation to all parts. And if you look at this brain, you can see the electrical energy. That means as you're thinking, as you're moving, as you're creating, all that, when staying mentally active is what makes the connections in the brains. We have these neurons, and if you don't use them, they go into a pandemic mode of sorts. So you have to stay mentally active, stay organized. Look after your health means look after all your chronic problems, aches and pains and whatever. Take care of all of them. Eat well, sleep well. Also, you don't have to exercise all the time. You have to practice mindfulness. Have any of you all heard of mindfulness? If you all have, to share.
We have a mindfulness workshop with story time quite regularly. So, yeah, it's great you brought that up.
Yeah. So mindfulness is, something that basically focusing on one thing at a time. So you're having your beer, sitting down on the beach, chill out, enjoy the beer. So you'll get your taste buds going, your memories of what happened with the beer. So you've spent time with yourself. Or when you're eating, try not to have a conversation at the table, but not when another digital equipment there on the phone, eating half, you don't know what you've done. But even if you're doing work. So mindfulness to learn. You have already had this workshop, no, Maria? So that's good.
Yes.
Learn a new skill. When we're talking about skill, it could be anything. It's basically so that you are stimulating the connections in your brain. And these board games nowadays, BOARD, not BORED, board games are excellent. I mean, you can make a lot of permutations and combinations of two people playing, challenge somebody, learning new ways of beating winning the game. You can also learn them online, some of them if you're alone at home. Music, it moves the brain, like we said, and there is a lot of studies have done that how music has helped the brain and the physical aspect of life. Language, you can learn a language. These are some of the new things that you can learn. Maria, maybe we can start one cours de conversation in French or in Portuguese because you have a number in your group who speak that language.
Yes,
So
that's something that actually is in the cards. So we're planning it and we're working on it. So stay tuned for that. Definitely we'll be doing it. Yeah.
So that will be good. So learning a new skill helps, whether it is cooking, gardening, learning football through whether you're in the last quarter and how many are there in the quarter and who is winning and how all of us learn the names of so many football countries. We have to say thank you to Francis. And of course, we all forgot about the ladies. We only watch the gents. And who won, by the way? Who won? Who were in the last two in the finals of the World Cup football? Anybody remembers who were your team? Which country was your team? And who won?
France.
Argentina.
France and Argentina.
And who did Argentina play?
France.
Francis, you're the referee. Was that right? You're muted. Yes, Argentina was my team. Yay, and we won. But what I'm saying is that was a new skill. We learned a little bit of football, you know. These are some habits that you can use. Experience new things, you know. Stay socially connected, whatever. Reduce some stress that you have. When these are some memory tips, yes, try and organize whatever information when you're trying to remember something. Write it down. Don't have to keep everything in the brain. Write it down what I need to do, how to do, and say it out loud and rehearse. Use skills, use associations. I will take you through this uh, mnemonics. You all are teachers, so most of you all have learned. I maintain a notepad. I have lots of notes every morning. I'm writing the to-do list, of course, and half those lists are not getting cancelled because I'm doing something else. But at least some point in the day, I realize, okay, I have to, make this call to somebody or somebody's birthday. Oh, I have to get up early today because I have to talk at 4:30, and otherwise I would have forgotten about it or whatever it is. No, it's easy to write. Make your list when you go shopping. Try and recall before you go down to the market. You have 6 items. This is the route I will take. So I will pick it up here, 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 here. Yes, you may meet somebody, so you go chatting and then you forget. So maybe just before you reach home, look at your list to see if you've forgotten anything. But otherwise, try and keep it in your mind as to what all you need to buy. Sometimes, of course, you go to a shop and then you see something else and then you buy 10 other things and not the thing that you've come for, but that's okay. So stay involved in activities that can help both the mind and the body. That's the bottom line. So these are mnemonic aids which most of us must have learned when we were in school, which is basically how you remember in school. How many teachers are there right now who are attending? You all must have used them at some point or the other. How many of you all went to school? Francis, don't shake your head. You went to school. Your teacher must have taught you at some point or the other. Okay, musicians. What is the first one? FACE, EGBDF. No musician knows what is FACE?
FAC are the spaces in the lines, and EGBDF are the on the line notes. So we remember it by saying eat good bread, dear father.
Correct. So that's how you remember eat good bread, dear father. So each one makes up their own, and some of them are like these common ones, Now in medical college, we had this. She looks too pretty, try to catch her. Now you're not going to remember this SLTPT, whatever. These are the bones that we have in our wrist. They are small bones here. And for us, we had a lot of these acrotics in anatomy because you have to learn the muscles in an order and which muscle went where or whatever, So she looks too pretty, try to catch her. It's easier to remember than trying to remember SLTPT, whatever, So these are the bones here, which is scaphoid, lunate. It's all the bones are written there, so it's easier to remember. You also have acronyms to remember. Like HOMES is all Canada. You're in Canada right now, so these are the Great Lakes. These are the 5 Great Lakes of Canada. HOMES. Do you all know them?
Yeah.
If anybody knows them, please answer. It's all written here.
Yeah.
It's all written here, but it's okay. Huron, Ontario,
Yeah.
Michigan, Erie, and Lake Superior. This is something that you all must be more familiar with, no? Vibgyor.
Yeah.
What is Vibgyor?
The colors of the
Blue,
rainbow.
green, yellow, orange, and red.
Correct. Violet, indigo,
Yeah.
blue, green, yellow, orange,
and red.
So you all have all taught people to remember different things at different times. Chunking is it's remembering things in groups, So like you want to remember a number, you will remember it's a 9-8 number, and okay, now the numbers have gone very big, but we would always remember like your 3 digits if you're from Bangalore, then what it was like, and what if you were in Mahim. So chunking is when you're remembering things in groups. Rhymes, you all know this. 30 days has September, April,
April, June, and November.
And November, all the rest have 31.
See, that is how we still
Acceptance
remember
and
all these things, you know. So it's there. This is how we were taught. Association. And the best, this is what everybody has complained. You cannot recall somebody's name when you've met them and then afterwards. So when you're being introduced or introducing somebody, try and do a repetition at that time, because that is a short-term memory and it will disappear. So you have to remember, you know, so you'll say, hello, Jen, nice to meet you, and you know, whatever. And then when going also say, bye-bye, Jen. So you kind of repeated Jen's name twice in that conversation of 5 minutes, and hopefully it has gone into your memory. So these are some of the memorization techniques. These are spellings also you all must have learned, no? I before E, except after
E
C.
except after C, yeah.
Yeah. Shippis will know this. Red light, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. They also say something about fish, no? In the evening, red sky, something. No? Or maybe I'm making a mistake. So these are some of the memorization techniques. It applies to various, it doesn't have to be in school, it can be in medicine, it can be in daily effects, and you know what you need to learn and what you don't need to learn. Tip of my tongue. Sometimes you know it, it's there, it's just not come out. Yes, it will come out at some point. If it has gone in, it will definitely come out. But you can tell that the person knows this and has, it's not that it is not part of the memory that has gone in. What were the 3 words that I showed you all? Write it down.
Butterscotch, mosquito, and
Not
chamomile.
that. I never showed you that. What were the 3 words that I showed you? If you want to answer, put your don't Maria, either you can unmute and speak, or unmute and speak, Francis. Yeah. Unmute and speak. Yeah.
HGP, house grape planters.
Very good. And what was the color of the font?
White. Green.
Green.
Anybody else? What was the color of the font?
Green.
No, it wasn't green.
Yellow.
Yes, it was yellow. So like you were
Yes.
from the words because you knew there was a hint before that saying that it's a unit test and whatever. So you were focused on trying to remember, at least I think, and he made his own way of remembering HGP. You know, so he got the word.
That's the trick I use when going shopping, because my wife or my sister will tell me go and buy these things. So I just remember the first letter of all the words.
Correct. So it is each one's way of learning how to remember things. So you just know that you have buy 5 things, and when you've gone, and then you know where you find those 5 things. Okay, how many of you all got this? Put your hands up. At least the words. No. Maria, can you see all of them?
I don't see any hands going up. You can just put your hand up.
We didn't see it. And I gave them a big hint of unit test. Yeah.
Francis is the only
They were
one,
so
yeah.
focused on remembering the butterscotch.
Yeah, I still remember butterscotch, mosquito, and chamomile.
That was BMC.
It was shown for so long, and the mosquitoes are biting, and the whole story will come out. Yes. Okay. Anyone noticed an error in the title slide?
Oops.
Yes, no?
What are the 3 words?
Oh, no, in my title slide. Anyone noticed an error?
No.
Okay. I have written circle of gray, but the Y
Yeah,
of
the
gray
Y wasn't black.
Not colored.
The
Yes,
Y wasn't
yes,
black.
was black.
Yes, it was black.
But nobody's
Right.
pointed it out right now.
I noticed it, but
I
I thought
saw
we had
that,
circle of
yes.
gray. So that's why I said, okay, then that's in
Who
black.
is this? Who is saying they noticed it?
I noticed it.
Jennifer,
Yeah,
midterm
but
son.
I noticed that it was black, but then I thought because we had a circle of gray, so that's why it is black.
Yeah, I tried to make it gray, but the gray part of it was.
I also noticed it, but I forgot.
Okay. Now we are checking whether you all have been paying attention in class. Okay, so you'll have learned a whole lot of memorization techniques. You are not to copy this down. Just keep your paper and pencil ready. I am going to show all of you all a picture. You have to look at the picture for a minute, and then I will ask you a question. That answer you have to write down on your paper and pencil. So no taking screenshots and no cheating. Okay, is everybody ready? Just show me a thumbs up.
Yes. And I'm watching everyone, huh? Just for y'all to know. So no screenshots.
Big sister, not big brother.
Yeah. 1 minute, huh?
Next technology, how to do screenshots without being noticed.
I'll keep that in mind.
How to cheat, in other words, without being caught.
I have learned that from my students.
Oh. Next workshop.
No writing down at this time. Just looking your visual senses. No writing down.
Apple, watering can, timber, flyer, gardening, cherries.
No copying it, okay? Your time is going to end in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now everybody.
Okay.
Writing down what all you all saw.
Okay.
Put down on paper now what all you saw. Now you can write down. As soon as you're over, you can put your hand up and try not to speak loudly. Everybody will listen to you.
Don't say it loudly.
Don't say it loud. Malcolm came after the test is over. Hi, Malcolm. Leonard, you're not writing. And when you all are done, you can put your hand up.
I got only 9.
I got only 10.
I got 10 out of 14.
11.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
14 or 15?
15. There were
15 are there? Okay.
15.
15, great.
I've got only 10.
Me too.
That's okay. This is when you needed to learn chunking. One of the memory methods. Okay, shall we go back to it?
Yeah.
Without going back to it. Francis, read any two of what you've got.
Pineapple, hammer, and nails.
Pineapple, hammer, and nails. Jen, read any other two.
Yeah, a pair of pliers and 2 cherries.
Okay. Caroline, have you written? Read any two.
Yes. I've
Yeah, read any.
got pin cushion, grapes, a gardener, Wool. Sorry, you said two.
Wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
only
let's
two.
give
Only
others-
two.
let's
Only
give
two.
others a chance.
So
Pincushion
sorry.
gardener.
Yeah,
Not paying attention. Sorry.
yeah. Not listening. Lira,
Have
have you
nice
listened?
rainbow.
Rainbow.
Rainbow, yes.
Two, 20 screws.
So others will know which ones they have missed. Rainbow and
Screws.
Pineapple.
There was
Screws.
there was a smiley pear, right? There was a pear.
pear.
Oh, there was
Yes.
about 3, 4.
So I think that's how I wrote that.
Some screws were there.
Pearl, any two pearls?
Pear and
There's
Yeah,
a watering
four
can and a
nails
planter.
and
pear and grapes.
4 nails
Very.
and
Grapes,
10,
yeah.
10 pins in the pin cushion.
Okay. Anybody
Oh my,
else?
she
who
counted
wants
Wool
the
to
and two
pins
try?
knitting
also.
needles.
Watering can. There was a watering can with plants.
Watering can, yes. What
Wool
else?
and two knitting
Butterfly.
needles.
There was a
Gold, there was
butterfly.
gold.
Yeah, butterfly.
Wool and
Jennifer?
knitting needles.
Yeah, about the same thing. I only got 9, doctor.
Gold.
Sophia.
I got 12.
Apple.
The young one, Sophia and Sophia.
I got 13.
Anyone that you want to add?
Gardener. We already said that, right?
Gardener.
Gardener.
11.
Pear.
Now see which
Apple.
one
There was
you
an
have
apple. The
missed.
first one was an
Apple,
apple.
yeah. Apple, pineapple, cherry, pear,
Oh, butterfly.
pliers, nail.
So
Thread and needle.
when you're doing
15.
chunking,
Rainbow I counted as one.
you group together what is similar. First of all, how many of you all counted? How many pictures are there? Yes. How
Me.
many were there? How many
Yeah.
were there here?
15.
Yes.
15.
Yeah. So now you know that is your target. So now you do chunking. You do a grouping. So all you realize there are a lot of groups. So
Dr.
you have,
Odette, sorry, your voice is breaking up. Is it only with me?
I don't know.
No, you're clear
I
to
think
us.
now it's okay. It was just.
Okay, now it's
I mean,
better. Okay.
I
yeah.
will
Okay.
drink a glass
Okay.
of water. Okay, so you know there are 15 items.
Yeah.
And you can see there are a number of fruit. Which are they?
Yeah.
Apple, pineapple,
Apple, pineapple, cherries, pear.
pear, and grapes.
Grapes.
Great.
And
There are
grapes.
5 fruits. So if you
There are 5 appliances.
When you're writing the 5, you know that you have missed out something. Okay, now there are tools. There's a plier, hammer and nails, there's nuts and bolts. So those can be grouped together. Then there is needlework. Needle and thread, pin cushion, knitting needles.
Needle and wool.
Together. And then you can have gardener and watering can and rainbow, the garden, and butterfly.
Butterfly.
So if you've grouped it like this, it's easier. Okay, you want to try it again quickly? Try it again.
What you wrote earlier. Turn it over the page.
No, I'm not showing you the page. There are 15
Hello,
items.
hello.
There are 15
Hello.
items. Am I audible?
If everyone can just mute themselves while you're doing this.
Hello.
Who is
Hello.
that? Hello.
Hello.
Is someone speaking?
Lavita here. I have a problem. Yes, I have a problem. I cannot see your screen. I don't know what's my
Lavita, maybe just
error
scroll.
over here.
Scroll on your phone. Just scroll on your phone and you'll see it. Just try to take your finger and swipe. You might be able to see the screen. Are you on the phone or the laptop?
On the phone.
Yeah, just swipe.
Move your finger on the screen like this.
Just, yeah,
So
just
right now
swipe
you
it.
will only see the clock, Lavita. You will only see the clock moving now.
No, I'm only getting the names.
The last
The
screen
names,
should have it.
then you have to keep swiping. Take your finger and just move it across the phone.
Move it across like this. Okay, the others, have you all finished writing all 15 and learning the chunking method? Now you know there are 15. There is a chunking and there are groups of How many groups in the chunking? How many groups did we make?
Three.
Which are they?
Fruits. Gardening.
Plants.
Fruits. You had tools.
And tools.
There were 4 groups.
Four. And there was crafts, art and craft or whatever. Yeah, 4 groups.
Needlework.
Needlework.
Okay. Now, how many did you all get right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
$13 I got.
Yeah, we got it.
Much more, no, than previously. So there is learning that has taken place. No, Maria is still writing.
15. Yes, was busy doing it with sorting out that issue, so I didn't get a chance.
12, 13, 14.
I got all right.
Very good, Francis.
No, because I only wrote the 5. I only remember the 5 that I forgotten.
But basically, if you do chunking,
That's
it's, you know, this is one of the memory methods when you have this game to play, and then it becomes much easier. Okay, so well done, everybody. Clap, clap.
Excellent.
So when you have this forgetfulness that everybody is talking about, you need to follow a daily routine, because sometimes as an adult, we have attention deficit, ADD. You've entered the house, you've kept your keys, the phone is ringing, you've gone there, then you have a bag of groceries, you've kept it there, then something happens, you've gone somewhere else, then you look at your plant, it needs watering, you start watering it, you know, and then you don't know where you've kept your house key, and what that you've forgotten that you've brought ice cream in your groceries, and oh, it's got melted in the bag. That's because we're not paying attention, and we're not in that what we call mindfulness. So you need to keep the same things in the same place everywhere, so that you will find your keys and phones and places and glasses and wherever they are. You know, my dad used to always say, if you keep it in the same place, like a blind person, you can just put your hand there and you will find it. You know, you don't have to bother to keep going on. But if you're a little disorganized in things, then it becomes difficult, and you spend a lot of time searching for stuff. Volunteer in the community, you know, this giving back, it is very good, because when you help others, you're helping yourself. Of course, they say don't drink a lot of alcohol because whatever.
I can't read that.
I know. That is why I just skip those parts. But if you're not feeling well or feeling depressed for a week of time, all of us, please phone somebody, talk to somebody, and get help. So if you don't use your brain, it becomes like quarantine. You lose it. And the brain is the most important organ you have. And of course, it's the brain that is telling you that. So we use this principle of use it or lose it. Because if we are not watering it and looking after ourselves and stimulating it, these wheels of cog wheels will not move properly, and they need to be to strengthen the neural pathways through it. No, otherwise we are going to forget everything. It will be like this. It's common part of our daily life, so don't get so worried about it. I wish we could just put in a new SD card, and then all of us would be good as new.
Reboot.
Good one.
Okay, there is something called amnesia. I'm not talking about dementia, I'm talking about amnesia, just to let you know. It is a temporary or a permanent, depending on how you get it. It's to do with memory. It could happen if you've had an injury, say in boxing, or a vehicular injury, or you've fallen down, or after too much of drinking in Las Vegas, you've forgotten that you got married to somebody over there. We've seen a lot of movies of that. You don't know what has happened the previous night, and you know, basically. So that kind of memory loss is a little different. We know what the cause is, but we have to take into consideration, you know, being healthcare professionals, as to what has been the cause of the memory loss. And this is just added information. This can tell you that his hearing is not so good, because he has not really heard, her hearing what he has said. One more test. I'm going to give you 2 dates. Okay, all of you all write the answers down on your paper, and at the end of that date, just put it up in front of your camera. Maria is looking very worried. Okay, and this can be for anybody. I'm giving you a date, whatever you all remember of that date, which is of importance either to you or to the group, irrespective. June 2022. Just write 1 word, 2 words, whatever you think was important in June 2022, whether it was for you or whether it was for Circle of Grey. If it is for Circle of Grey, all the better, more better, because then everybody knows what you are talking about. Done? Everybody done? August 26, 2022. Of what do you remember of these 2 dates? The month of June in 2022, 1 item concerning Circle of Grey, and August 26, 2022. Okay, anybody tell me June 2022?
I'm not going to say it.
Why? Not you. Who's this? Maria? Not you.
The
Yeah,
plays, is it?
I'm
The
dying to say it,
skits,
but
the
I'm not going to
plays?
say it. I'm going to wait
Don't
for
die,
someone
don't
else.
die, don't die, don't die. Hang on. Okay,
Is
go
it the
on.
day we had the plays and the skits?
The month of practicing for the great big talent show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole month, previous month and that month and whatever. Did everybody write that, or you all wrote something else?
Yes, I just
We
wrote
had
play.
My Betsy. We had My Betsy. Bestie.
Yes.
That's this year.
That is this
Yeah,
year.
sorry, 20, yes, correct.
22.
22, don't remember.
August 26, 2022, last year.
Maria Francis' birthday.
Who's Maria Francis now?
Maria and Francis, I said.
Okay, Maria and Francis. Yes. And then what happened? And we will give our version of it, and Maria will give her version of it.
Francis received a gift, I know.
I know. Francis, what do you ate on that day?
I can't remember what I ate. I can remember what I drank.
Good for you. Maria.
Oh my
Maria,
gosh,
you
it
tell
was
us.
like the biggest surprise of all time with all your dancing and singing, that the amazing messages. And I remember I was in Netherlands at the time when
On the road, you were walking with your
yes,
family somewhere.
yeah, the most special ever. How can I ever forget?
Yes. So that is it. You know, I mean, these are good memories that we have created. A build up to that 26th of August, and it'll bring a smile to everybody's face who remembers or had participated in all, how we, had to form our groups and practice and not give out, and it was coming out and you didn't notice it. But anyway, this is what was stimulating our brains, and everybody got so tech savvy, and of course Francis just outdid everything and put it up and whatever. But it was a good time to remember. So some take-home messages from the Circle of Grey to boost your cognitive functions, interests, passions, form social connections. And the most important is learn that there is more to learn. Every day there is something to learn, something to keep and build up on our memory box. Because there is no age bar for learning, and we need to do that. Since there are so many teachers in the group, how can we not have homework? So this is the homework for everybody. Okay, maybe you can take this down, Maria, and see that they write their homework down properly. 2 names of 2 people you've met today, 2 new people who have come in today. Devise a new route to go to your regular haunt. Now, whether your regular haunt is your church or your tavern or to the market, find a new way. You have to challenge your brain. Play a game of cards, chess, rummy cup, whatever. Learn something new on the phone. Yes, now you have to learn how to cheat without being caught online or whatever. Francis is going to take that class. And the teachers who have learned from their students. And most importantly, report to Maria all these things that you have done. send her the report that you have done all these things. Right, Maria? And she will check.
Yeah, and I'll send it to the principal.
External or person, so no principal. Sophia is there in charge. So this is just a visual that will make you understand how when you're hearing something, just 40% of the information goes in. Where you're seeing, that is why when you're teaching, you have something called audio visual. Then there is more information going in. I could have just spoken, you wouldn't have understood much. But when you see things, there is more information that goes in. So I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand.
That's so beautiful. I'm going to share this as well. Can you just go back to that slide, Odette? I want to take a picture of that. Got it.
Dear Confucius, who says these very profound sayings come from all these Chinese people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A
Thank
very
you.
patient and attentive audience. And thank you to Circle of Brave for always giving me this platform to talk
Thank
and
you.
talk and talk. I
Thank
hope
you
that
so
was
much.
Actually.
Thank you.
That was really wonderful. Thank you so much, Odette. You always get us moving, and you've definitely got our brains twinkling and ignited. So much that we didn't know, and I'm sure everyone. I can see everyone taking copious notes down. But
Maria, we didn't get time to meet everybody. I mean, all the new faces. So looking at the new faces now to report to you that we remember them a little later.
Oh, lovely. Yes, that's a good
Yeah,
one. And I have to make mention that I'm so happy today. I mean, Francis is not going to be very happy, but all the ladies will be very happy that this time he's not the lone knight. It's great that we're seeing a lot of lovely males as well today. There's Francis, and he's joined with Jose. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I did see
Jose,
Jose.
That is a cousin of mine from Goa. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. So he joined in. Malcolm, of course, came in for a little bit, and now he heard homework and he ran away. But he was there. And then we have Lenny.
There is Leonard.
Yes, we have Leonard as well. So it's really great that a lot of the men joined us today, and it's the first time we've had so many men. So do share it and bring your spouses, your brothers, your friends. It's always lovely. And of course, I've said those names out loud. We also have Carolina, Levita, Margaret, Regina, you've come in before, I know. Mary Fernandez, I think you came in once before as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm repeating lots of new names, everyone who's here. And of course, all our wonderful amigos who have been with us, always. We have Odette, Lolita, Francis, Manuela, Jennifer, Medonsa, Fatima, Annie, Jen, Rodriguez, Maria, Barbara, Bertie, Ida, Caroline, Merle, Jane, Lorraine. Yeah, and Margaret is also new, I believe. So, okay, wonderful.
Wow, the memory lesson is already working well on Maria.
I'm just looking at the screen.
She's got a cheat sheet.
If only, Francis, that's really like that's my ambition. I hope I get there.
It was a wonderful session.
Yeah, it was really wonderful.
Any questions? Any questions?
Actually, Dr. Odette, when I teach my students to remember something, I teach them in song. So most of them, although they do not want to come forward and sing, but when I sing, they try to remember and write it down. When it comes to the exams, or then I show them a video. So normally students like to learn through seeing visual. They learn it faster. They learn it faster. Because
What class do you
all
teach?
the classes from grade 4 to grade 11.
Wow.
French, I
All of
believe,
them,
right? She
yeah,
teaches
French.
French. Yeah.
So all the classes learn, but when you sing a song to them, then they feel, okay, it's getting interesting. But when you just talk and you explain, they go to sleep.
Wonderful. Moral of the story, I think all of us need to be students in order to boost our memory because like Dr. Odette said throughout today's session, you know, she was talking about unit tests and she went back to school. I really think, I mean, I'm not even saying this in jest. I think it really is true. We have to go to all those methods that we learned in the classroom to kind of revise. First of all, pay attention. Most important. Revise and then we remember, you know. So I think that was fabulous.
Yeah, while we talked about doing a song, etc., as students grow older, especially teenagers, young adults, we really have to, in a mixed class, you have to know all their learning styles because they're so different. And I think that's therefore when you do your lesson plan, there has to be somebody who has a kinesthetic style, somebody who's audio, somebody who's I see. So that's the challenge, but it also makes life interesting for them and for us. Like I take a lot of notes, but sometimes, that acts as a disadvantage because I don't challenge my memory, don't challenge my brain to remember. So I am a note taker, but I know that I have to at times, force myself to remember because very often I can't pick, there's no time to pick up your book or to pick up your notepad and see what you wrote. So that's my challenge.
But coming back to writing notes, see, when we studied whatever, undergrad, postgrad, or whatever, it was, of course, in the last century. So we had to take down notes to what the teacher said because there were no books available at that time. There was no internet. There was no Xerox machine. So you sat in the library, sat with all the books there, made your own compiled whatever of that topic from various textbooks that were there in the library. And so it was like, I see, I understand, because you're writing it down. So later on, when we had to get rid of all those notes of us, it was so heart wrenching because it was hard work. Nowadays, the first thing they do is they will just take. I always tell them, stop taking Xerox because you're only collecting Xerox. You're adding to the kachra. You're not reading anything. Take your one Xerox, underline, go through it. Don't do it in the textbook, but underline in your Xerox at least. No? Underline, so you know what part of that sentence you have to understand and what stands out. Write your meanings at the side. Write your whatever. We in medical college we used to get a lot of these whose English was not first language. So it became very difficult in medical terminologies to learn and understand what was going on because when you do anatomy, physiology after 12th standard, the terms are totally different, the words are totally different, they are not familiar with them. So the English speaking person itself is tough. And for those who don't, whose English is not a first language, it's very difficult for them. So you have to keep writing, you have to read, you have to talk. I used to make them all the tough topics divided amongst themselves. And I said, no, now you're going to present this in class. So at least, in your practicals, you have one topic that it's your forte and then teach them how to, in the practicals, like lead your examiner so that they will ask you this question, answer of which you already know. It's a game after all. If you've been on both sides,
Yeah, that's great. Sorry,
Odette.
just before that, I just want to add to what Odette just said. So, since none of you are in school, and she was talking so strongly and rightly about remembering and making that effort. I think one of the things we can do and add to that homework, Dr. Odette, is try to remember a phone number. We used to always do that, but now we just go to our contact list. So at least try to memorize 3 or 4, like Jen very rightly said, sometimes you have to challenge your mind, because things are so easily available. Unlike earlier, we had to go to an address book. Therefore, we remembered it again because we wrote it. So try to remember a couple of phone numbers. and you can start. And again, let me know. So I'll send it out to the principal.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Doctor, I'll just ask you a question. Uh, you know what I do? I'm alone, so I eat my food while eating. I also do Duolingo. I learn a language.
Excellent.
Yes, that's fun.
It's interesting to do Duolingo. It's not very difficult. So I'm learning the language at the same time I'm eating, and I'm eating alone, so it's very boring. So I eat, and at the same time I'm doing in the left hand I'm doing the Duolingo. Is it not mind? That's not mindfulness, isn't it?
Yes.
You say it's wrong.
No,
But
no, no. You can do anything that makes you happy.
Okay.
And if you're eating alone and you're missing company, just do a video call with your friend. She's having her khana, you have your khana, you have a chat with her. It's as good as whatever. I mean, see, we learned a lot of all this stuff in COVID. You know, when people could not physically go. So I would say just do this now.
Odette, can I tell my experience?
Yes, sure. Go ahead,
When I was in St. Xavier's College, we had been with Father Hamel. That time he was living. So he taught us an exercise. He said you can do it as a daily exercise. Go into your room, look at 10 things. For 1 minute, just look at it. Then go out of your room and just write those 10 things down. See how much best you can remember. Do it every day. So it's like a memory exercise you have.
It
So
is connections. Yeah, basically your neural connections, you're keeping it going. Otherwise, if you're not having that electrical, stimulation going, you use it or you lose it. But that's very good. Thank you.
That's lovely. Yeah.
Another small tip could be also, like, in most of us have a little not notebooks, but like a slate or something that you can pin up, a magnetic board on your fridge, and just jot down words on it. So every time you go open the fridge, to take something out, you can see those words there, and it's like a reminder. At the same time, it's something that also gets you thinking about. So that's also something you can think of.
All of us know a lot of tricks, but just that we have to
practice.
Intentionally do it. Yeah.
It's not
Absolutely.
very always easy, but fine, no problem.
So on note, don't say anything, but get your pen and paper out and write down those, not the words that Dr. Odette put out, but the words that Sophia and I put out, the ones that she told you a little story. I can see Frances very excited. Barbara is also very excited. She remembers. So write those down. And then on the count of 3, hold those words up. Okay. So let's see who got them right. Don't hold them up as yet.
The 3 words?
Yes.
Oh, that's
simple.
Oh, there might have been more. I'm not sure. Might have been 2, might have been 5, might have been 7, the words that were there. So made it a little easier for you unintentionally. I can see Dr. Odette also writing. We're going to test her memory. Don't hold it up as yet. Not yet, Lavita. Lavita is extremely helpful. All right, done? Okay, Sophia, you check who all. There are some, I think, who are hiding their faces. I'd ask you, Fatima, Margaret, Ida, Lorraine, Jane. Jane, I know possibly can't, but please put your videos on. Okay.
When you
I
shared,
don't see videos on.
Okay. Your time you were sharing, I had a problem with my connectivity. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure, no problem.
So I missed that part.
Okay, I just had to write down the words that I put right in the beginning.
No,
okay?
I missed that part. Yeah, it was my.
You missed it. No problem.
No,
no problem.
my computer froze at that time.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
I see
You
Fran's
can see
got
it
a
now.
printout.
Yeah, I missed it as well.
Manuela is right. Manuela is right. We have Barbara, absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
Lavita, can you hold it a little closer?
Write, not print out, not screenshot.
Yes, Lavita is also great. Odette has definitely topped the class. Jennifer, correct. Wow, your memories have just... Ida, can you hold that a little closer, Ida?
Correct.
To the camera. Little higher so I can see.
Another way of remembering is also forming a story about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sophia is living
What
in
are the
Portugal
words?
and there are a lot
Sorry.
of mosquitoes there. So she gets quite worried and then she goes cooling down with butterscotch ice cream. And if that also doesn't work, then she has chamomile tea. So if you have a story, you can get what the words are. But of course, then you should not say Portugal and Sophia and whatever. You have to
Okay.
remember what your story is about.
But excellent. I mean, everyone, almost everyone, I think, got that right. So big hand to all of you. Give yourselves a big hand. Fantastic. And on that note, I just wanted to share a few things based on what Dr. Odette put out today, because obviously we want to take and absorb everything that she said, but also most importantly, put that into practice. So we're going to just give you 3 or 4 fun things that you can do. Some of them are apps, some of them are games that you can play so that you can continue this process. It's a very getting your memory jogged or boosted is really about intentionally wanting to do it, and like she said, making the time to do that. It's just the same way as you make time for your physical exercise, you need to do that for your mental exercise. So just very quickly, yeah, I put this down and you said it so beautifully, Dr. That mindfulness, doing one thing at a time. I find myself not doing that, and that's why a lot of the time I forget. I'm always multitasking. For those who haven't come in for story time, please join us. It's a beautiful session we have on mindfulness. Those who have come in will tell you. Also, after watching a movie, another thing that we have on Circle of Grey regularly, as you know, when you finish the movie, try to remember this whole story. Try to remember what the characters were wearing, funny moments that happened, interesting moments or moments that touched you. Try to remember the faces, the names, maybe the clothes that they were wearing. And like Dr. Odette said, it'll automatically stay strong in your mind. When you go to any place, I think Lenny mentioned this as well. Try to remember what you saw when you entered and when you're sitting down. Say you go to the bank, observe and look, and when you sit down, try to remember what was behind you, what color the wall was, what paintings were there, what were the light fixtures like. It's just training your brain to retain things. Bertie said this, learning a new language, Duolingo. I will share the link with you. It's a free app and it is absolutely fantastic. It's a great way to learn a new language in a very fun, simple and interesting way. Retaining those words again, great way to boost your memory. Also, words with friends is another fabulous one. Bertie, you said sometimes you play with your friends. It's a great app again that you can play. There's also learning new words, vocabulary, boosting your vocabulary is another nice one. I'm going to share these links on the WhatsApp group so you can have them, and also on the Facebook page. Cards. Who doesn't have a pack of cards, right, at home? Use that to be your memory friend. One of the games that I
Solitaire.
make my dad play regularly is, just lay out cards like this. Any 6 cards, if you want to challenge yourself, add to them, okay, and try to remember them. Then turn those cards over so that you can't see it and try to place the exact same cards underneath it. And then, of course, once you've done that, open up the top layer and see how many you got right. So that's another fun game that you can play. And you can even play it with your partner. So husband and wife, brother and sister, call your friends over, give everybody 6 cards and get everyone then to place their cards under. It's a great way again of, having fun. This is another one that I want to show you, memory match. Many of you might have played this. Many of you would have taught your kids, but now it's time for you to play again. So let me show you how it works. You can play this with a pack of cards, or you can get onto this online game where you're just literally clicking 2, but you're trying to remember. So let's go till we get 1. Okay, who can tell me where those chopsticks were?
I didn't see it.
We don't see
There
it.
was one I opened earlier.
I didn't
We
share.
didn't get
No,
it.
it didn't share. You didn't share that, Maria.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll share that again. Okay, I'll just start, yeah. So you just keep clicking. Okay, now who can tell me which was the
1 and
chopsticks?
3.
The other
1 and 3.
Three.
Exactly. Okay, so let's see one more. Say just click. Who can tell me the next one?
2 and 6. Yep.
2 and
6. Yeah, that one. Just below the watermelon. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Got it. So again, this is a fun game to play. And when you're just free, I'll share this link again with you. Great way to boost your memory if you're playing it every day. And just going back to the slides. Sorry.
You can play a lot of games online. Even Rummy Cup is online. You're playing against one person or 3 people. It keeps you a little alert, So there's
Even
an
solitaire.
game.
Even
Actually,
solitaire.
Absolutely.
30-second and 60
It's also
brain
seconds. You're
meter.
playing against the computer, so
Even Scrabble.
I play
actually,
Ludo King.
We could have Scrabble amongst ourselves as well. It's a good
exactly.
game.
Absolutely. Even between all of you, you're now are so familiar with each other. Just make up pairs, play games with each other, message each other, play Scrabble. Francis, if you have the link, you can share it on Conversations. And that's a great way to kind of stay connected, but also keep your mind so active. We
But
put out regular posts, as you know.
try and do it physically with somebody. It makes a big difference because there is a conversation also happening.
I'm on Ludo King, so if anybody has Ludo King, can play also with a group.
Yes.
Share it on Conversations, Manuela.
If you're
That would be
able
lovely.
to go and meet somebody else, that also adds to it. You're walking, going somewhere, there's a physical
Stimulating your brain.
interaction to that person, and then you play a game. If it's raining too heavily or something, then you can sit indoors and play this. So it works both ways. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like we said, I mean, if you are indoors and you don't know what to do, or you haven't really gotten on an app, at least get onto our Facebook page. As you know, there's always games out there. Today we have a post on remembering all the picnic songs you sang. It's again a great way to go back in time and not only remember that wonderful moment and go back into those memories. It's also forcing you to think of those songs, so engage with those kind of posts, because the reason we put it out is very intentional. Even though they're fun, they're still very intentional. Yeah, so that's pretty much about from me, and we already did the 3 words. We all did absolutely great. But I hope you enjoyed the session, Dr. Odette. We really want to thank you. You made it so much of fun, took such a serious topic, and gave us a lot to think about and even more to remember.
My pleasure. It's always lovely to talk to an audience like this who are so receptive and they have years and years of experience. You learn so much from them.
Hope we all meet again.
Where are you based, Leonard?
I'm in Badlapur West.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking about meeting up again, I think the conversations will be happening next month. Sorry, we've not been able to do it the last couple of months with everybody being traveling or whatever. But hopefully we get back on track next month.
Yeah.
We'll
definitely.
keep you guys posted. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep the conversation going. Okay,
Dr.
so
Odette,
on
thank
that
you and
note,
pleasure listening to you too.
Thank you, Dr. Odette.
Oh, most welcome. Most welcome. Happy to help. Happy to share. There's no point keeping everything what you know. It's nice and you learn so much in everything.
Thank you, Dr. Odette.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Odette. You did a fantastic job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Maria, for organizing.
not at all.
Maria, thank you very much for organizing.
Take care.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so
Odette.
much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining us.
Maria. Thank you,
Thank
Odette.
you.
See you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thanks,
Take care. God
Sophia.
bless you all.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you all.
Have a nice
Thank
weekend
you.
and
Thank
Have a
Thanks, Maria.
lovely, yeah,
lovely.
have a
Have a lovely day
most
too.
welcome. Thanks for coming and joining us. Remember to do your homework.
Yeah, pleasure was ours.
Yes,
Take
we
care,
will.
Auntie Jane.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you
Jane,
so much.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Jane, you were supposed to share the highlight of your highlight birthday. Which birthday was that of yours?
Oh, Jen, I'll
Mine. 85th.
Oh, wow.
coming up, Jen. It's coming up on
It's coming
23rd.
up. Coming up. Okay.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now she's resting for it.
Okay.
No, not
Wonderful.
resting, Odette. Odette, I wanted to talk to you alone.
Okay,
But
alone,
I was
alone.
not
Huh?
well at all. I was
Alone,
not
alone,
well
we'll
at all.
talk. Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, you talk to me afterwards, okay? Call up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
everyone
everybody.
else,
Bye, guys.
Manuela, do share the game you were talking about. Francis, share Scrabble.
Yeah.
Sophia,
Yeah.
you had some great games as well that you were talking about. So just pick up. Of course, everyone is on Wordle. That's going so great. It's so fantastic to see all of you playing Wordle every day. So keep that going. Okay. And on that note, thanks again and lovely to see all your wonderful, beautiful faces.
Thank you, Maria. Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Dr.
Have a
Odette.
nice
Bye-bye.
evening, everyone.
That's
Bye. Same to
nothing
you.
as
Bye.
good as
Take care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, not no face
See
is as
you.
good as yours.
Thank you, Dr. Odette.
Oh, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.